We made it. It is Friday, and welcome to ATI Pro Media. We've had a busy week. Port strikes. We've been dealing with the fallout with the hurricane. A lot of these markets have been moving, and Friday's no exceptions. We got some good headlines, but we want to hear what you want to talk about, right? So drop us a question. Let us know, how is harvest progressing in your area? How are yields? Hopefully a little bit better than expectations. Hopefully a lot better than expectations. But I think with that, we'll break down some headlines. We've got some flash sales, which are always good to see. I want to talk a little bit about CO2, some carbon sequestration, right? Hot topic thing I think we need to be paying attention to. So with that, let's bring him in, Brady Huck, and we'll break down some of these headlines. I guess, well, first, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and quote up these markets, right? We're moving into the week. If you don't mind, could you give us a quick rundown on them?
Yep, let's head over to LaSalle Street here. Corn down 3 cents currently. Soybeans up 3/4 of a cent. Wheat, we got Chicago wheat down 8 cents. KC wheat down 5 cents. On the cattle front, feeder cattle are up 75 points. Fat cattle are up 50 points. Hogs are up 12 to 30 points. Looking over at energy. Energy had a big day yesterday. Crude and diesel up 5%. Crude's extending those gains up 50 points. Diesel up 2 cents today. The Dow up 165, S&P up 20, and the NASDAQ up 90 points here today. So
Good
that's where we're
stuff.
at with the
Good
markets.
stuff. Moving right along. Well, I think the big headline that we need to go ahead and talk about is this port strike ends, right? It started. Did it start Monday night? I believe might be Sunday night. Don't quote me on that one,
Yeah.
Brady. But they were dug in, right? It was, how was it going to disrupt the holidays was a big topic. Well, they've agreed to a tentative deal. More than anything, I think they've agreed to go back to work and then have time till next year, early January, to negotiate a new contract. So 3-day port strike, maybe not quite the big delays and backup that we were talking about, but I guess it's good for the U.S. economy that we've got that back open, right?
Yep, I think so. Yeah, but still, I mean, 3 days. They talked early. 1 day down results in a 5 days to kind of get back in gear. So if you 3 days down, we got looking at 15 days to kind of get back
Right.
to square one. Maybe if they go back full force to work. But a guy's got to wonder, Connor. Political ramifications. It's good to see him go back to and getting this thing behind us. But they talk about the Taft-Hawley that. Administrative action that we could have imposed, the president could have imposed, of 90 days, go back to work. And we look out January 15th, that's 80 days away. So a lot of things going. We got 30 days to the election. Got to wonder, is there some political motivation between putting this to bed and not having to enforce the Taft-Hawley agreement coming together? Makes your head scratch a little bit, but good to see him go back.
There was a lot of people had a lot of incentive to get the ports back open to get a move. One thing we should have done is, I don't know if you were following along, where the head of the union, right? He was a gold chain wearing, funky sunglass guy, and he was weird. We're not gonna open, right? We're doing this. We should have popped some headlines because he was. I gotta say, however you feel about him, he was quotable.
Absolutely, yeah, he had some zingers out there, but kind of, I don't know, interesting stuff. Good to see him coming back open.
Yep, absolutely. So with that flash sale season, we got another one. Yesterday, we talked about how China was on holiday. We didn't have one yesterday, but guess what? Today, 116,000 metric tons of soybeans delivery to China, 198,000 metric tons of corn delivery to unknown destinations for 24-25 marketing year.
Keep them coming. It's good to see these things. These are supportive for demand. And, they can always switch, right? Destinations. And that's in the back of our mind, that when you see these flash sales, they can become cancellations. That happens. But seeing them, that's a win versus not seeing them, in my opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely. If we're looking for, if we're going to be a big grain bowl, number one, if we're in the U.S., right, we're paying attention to South American weather. But two, it would be really nice to see some big buying, right? I go back, I feel like I draw on 2020 as a correlation a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
to me, it's where things change dramatically, right? I got to go back 4 years ago, and that's where we saw that. Now, we did see production issues in 2020 with that derecho in Iowa. But a big one was how much China came to the table and really had to fill that pipeline, right? It started, we would have already been in the thick of it. We would have kicked off that bull run, I believe, as of October 4th, right? That
Mhm.
was in August. But it'd still be nice to see if we could see some good sales these next 60 days, next 90 days.
Yeah, on this price action we've seen the last month here kind of gives you a little taste of, are we off and running? Is this going to go further? Is this a 2021-20 repeat with that big bull run where we go from $4 corn to $6 corn? We can hope, but we got to respect the rally there too. So we'll see.
Right.
I think you talk about South American weather, and like you
Yes.
said there, a lot of implications on how that production will we get the beans planted. We're starting to get to crunch time there, aren't we, Connor?
Absolutely, right? We talked a lot about it, how October is when we really see soybean planting ramp up, something like uh, typically 85% of Brazil soybeans are planted in that October window. Seeing more headlines where we talked about it yesterday, how that extended forecast is adding a little bit of rain, right? Some chances of thunderstorms, I believe, over the weekend. And so that's a market that could change very, very quickly, and we're in that time frame, right? I was thinking about what someone should be looking forward to, right? And I think that's the big one, is how fast that Brazil planning is going to change, how fast the weather could change in South America.
Yep, a lot of things happening here. All right, next headline here. Jobs report, Connor. We had non-farm payrolls much higher than the forecast. Unemployment was also lower. Another, is this a politically motivated data dump that makes things look good? And are we polishing a turd here with this? I don't know. I don't know, but it's good to see the the numbers look good on paper. Interesting thing about it, though, the past revisions was also kind of
Yeah,
counter seasonal to what we've typically seen, where they do those reductions. They actually revised job numbers up.
right.
So
And I think we have a chart. You have a chart showing that?
I'll flash that up here. Yeah, look at
Yeah.
that. That shows that the green bars there are positive revisions to past months' jobs numbers. So up in those previous jobs numbers. It's good to see, but yeah, I
Right.
don't know. Debate
That
on whether it's real numbers or not, Connor.
Yeah. Well, and that's been the story, is that they post a good jobs number and then we see a negative revision, right? We talked a lot about that beginning of the year. And so yeah, interesting. We're revising it higher, right? Surprising. We'll take it. I think the 10-year was reacting accordingly to that. I don't have the number in front of me, but yeah, we'll take it, right? Maybe it's coming at a really good time, and I think that's all I'll say about that.
Yep. Yep.
So, with that. All right, I got something. I don't know how much this is, probably not on your radar. It's kind of my back door. ADM in Decatur, right there, ethanol plant there. They have been sequestering carbon, right? They've been injecting it in the shale, and that's been a big topic with these CO2 pipelines, right? We had that one uh, going from Iowa. It looks like it's really hitting some red tape. In my back door, they talked about doing a CO2 pipeline through Christian County. And, it's I'll say it's a controversial topic. A lot of people feel very strongly they don't want that CO2 pipeline. But I'm going to look at it the other way, right? Something like a third of our corn goes to fuel. And if we want to put our 10-year, 20-year hat on and we want ethanol to stay relevant, I think we need some form of carbon sequestration, right? That seems to be the path to least resistance. And so headlines like this, where they've been injecting in the shale, but they're seeing leaks.
Mm,
Okay, it's not going as well, and this is the second one they've seen, right? That really is concerning to me. That if we can't do something with this carbon, I wonder how we're going to move forward there. So
yeah.
concerning. As far as like environmental, when we see a leak, I don't know if it's concerning that way. Just how well does that process work of injecting carbon way down in the shale, right? Are we going to see problems? Does it not work as good as they thought?
Yeah. That's an interesting headline, interesting thing going on. And yeah, I well, I'm fortunate we don't see a whole lot of the carbon pipeline stuff talk out in my country. We're dealing with, solar panels and wind turbines and some of
Sure.
that stuff.
Right. Speaking right along the lines with ADM is I saw a headline, Brady, that their Iowa plant, I believe in Des Moines, they're closing it, cycling it down for maintenance from
Okay.
October through November. And
Oh, really?
so, yeah, It my
Corn,
question
soybean plant, corn plant. Is that
Soybean crush
okay?
plant, sorry. And so, I mean, do they not know when harvest is? Or I want to think that this must have been a have to if they're doing it in
Okay.
October, November, right? But who
Yeah.
knows? But here's the thing: the facility crushes about 5 million bushels of soybeans a month on average. That figure would represent 12% of Iowa's monthly soybean crush, according to U.S. government data. Got that from Reuters. So
Okay.
concerning when we're looking at that. Thank you, Tommy. 10-year 395.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to
So
see that.
yeah, it comes to me. It couldn't have came at a worse time where we're
Mhm.
looking. In the next 60 days, a lot of soybeans are going to need to find a home, and we're not crushing them. I don't like that for the Iowa producers. So interesting to see. I gotta think. Yesterday, one of Joe Grasaffi's customers was talking about his basis in South Dakota. And I
Yeah.
really wonder if we don't see more of that, where it is the market telling us we do not want soybeans on the market right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Definitely some highlights the regionality of that. And one plant goes down here or there and impacting your local, 15, 20. What draw area does that impact locally? Definitely some factors there and things you need to stay on top of and maybe in front of too to try to avoid putting yourself in a situation where you get put in a pickle that some local destination of yours does or does not need grain. Good stuff.
Right. So, well, with that, it really wraps up the day. Been a busy week, right? Busy week
Yeah.
at being a broker, right? Markets are moving, and busy day with the headlines. We'll see what next week brings. Make sure to turn into premium. Tommy and Scott Shaladay had a great one talking inflation yesterday, and then we got some good ones planned today through this weekend. As always, right, for our premium subscribers, if you got a topic you want us to talk about, right? A lot of moving parts. I know you're very busy in the combine, in the semi, in the grain cart, staying real busy. But if there's something you want to hear, something that you want us to talk about, let us know, right? We want to talk about what you want to hear. So, but yeah. So with that, what else we got, Brady?
Well, I just want to flash up one more time. Homework over the weekend. We love to see these comments in the, after the show. So if you're watching this after the live broadcast, share your yields. Are they your comments locally? Yields, where you at? Are they above, below expectations? Safe harvest to you all. It's going to be a busy couple weeks here with U.S. harvest. Looks like it's a wide open window too, Connor, across
That's
much of the
it.
Corn Belt.
Yeah, we're talking weather in South America, but that's the truth for a U.S. harvest. Looks like, I don't want to jinx it, Brady, but we've got a nice 10, 14-day window where hopefully we can get a lot done, right? In Central Illinois, that means at this time of year, it's going to be soybean cutting, right? We're going to see everyone cutting soybeans. You get them out when you can, and then we'll see, and then we'll switch back to corn harvest. But Kansas, I know you talked about it yesterday, but we're going to see guys do a little bit of everything, right?
It's that time of year. Yeah, you're going 100 miles an hour, 100 different directions, and trying to get it all done. Yep. All right,
Yeah.
Connor.
So with that, well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Everyone have a great weekend, right? We'll see what Monday brings. We'll talk to you later.
See you, Connor.
Yeah. Bye.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.